guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an email that was sent from a subscriber. This from a guy, he is in his early 50s, he's married, happily married, couple kids, got a good life going, and he shares his story from like 30 years ago when he just got out of college about how, with a former ex, how they always come back. Always. So for you guys out there that maybe have just had a breakup, or you were cheated on, or who knows what happened, understand this, one day you will have the last laugh. As you improve your life, get your life together, move on, all that, self-improvement, get a hotter girl, eventually the one that's done you wrong in some capacity will screw up and will be coming back to you. And you will then have that moment of having the last laugh. Maybe at the point you won't care anymore, but it will happen. And also his story shows, this is very important here, the power of indifference. How it drives women crazy when guys can care less. And usually, the better looking the woman, the more it drives her nuts how a guy's indifferent to her. Because she's used to guys chasing after her all the time. But when a guy doesn't, oh man, it makes him crazy. Because attention and validation is a freaking drug to them. And this is no different now than it was 30 years ago when this guy was telling his story here. And what happens when you don't chase after them. Even if they break up with you, or the relationship ends badly, if you're moving on, not paying attention to them, they start chasing after you because they can't take it. Their narcissistic personalities, their egos can't handle it. It's very entertaining, and you're going to see here. So this story is a little bit entertaining, but it's also some important lessons here that you guys are going to see. But before I get into this, real quick, I got a guy who wrote in about his buddy. It's a real quick email. He's looking for some help. His buddy's got some depression problems. So I'm going to read this real quick, and hopefully we can give this guy some help so he can help his buddy here, because this is why we're here. This guy says here, howdy SSM. I hope all is well with you. My question is for you, is not for myself, but a friend of mine, and you can call him Cyrus. I've known him for over a decade. It's his birthday next Tuesday, and I already know that he will be stuck in his college campus most of the day, which will drain him completely. So trying to invite him out afterwards is completely off the table, but I noticed his mood has significantly worsened in just a few days. So obviously the buddy here has got depression problems. I kept asking him what happened, and he was extremely vague about it, saying something happened to a family member on his mother's side. The classes aren't going so well, some friends are acting up, and his success with getting pieces of writing and artwork accepted into a literature magazine, blah, 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 has dried up momentarily. He recently got an editing internship a few weeks ago, but he surprisingly hasn't given any updates on it recently. Okay, so obviously something bad happened in the family, and now it's like when it rains, it pours, he's depressed and all that. Can happen to anybody, but hang on here. He says, I walked into his workplace on campus, seeing him wearing glasses on his head, down on his desk. Thankfully, he wasn't sleeping, but seeing him not doing anything when I came by is worrying me very much, and I don't know what to do. Well, you're a good friend. Aside from me, not that many people check on him, something he's stated numerous times as he hates it with a passion, since he's tried his best to engage other people, but many just write him off, apparently because he's got mental disabilities. So I'm not trying to be annoying about this, but serious, I don't know what to do. Well, we're not done yet, but okay, it sounds like you're depressed. When Cyrus isn't suffering from his depression or drawbacks in life, he literally looks like he can conquer the world. So, one extreme to the other. This sounds a lot like manic depression or bipolar. They used to call it manic depression, nowadays they call it bipolar. Aside from getting an internship, something I'm trying to do right now, he's written 4 books, volunteered in a museum, which led him to get a 4-day pass to a con, which allowed him to interact with the cast of SpongeBob and their special guest. He got to work at a mortuary last summer, trying to apply to another internship, helping his college writing club as a treasurer, and has been promoting his writing work and artwork when he's able to perform at open mic events. I'm still focused on the interacting with the cast of SpongeBob at a con or working in a mortuary. This is like all over the place. I know people go, this is bullshit. No, you said he has mental disabilities. Maybe he's somewhere on the spectrum, I don't know. Who knows? I'm not assuming my friend needs professional help, but I just don't want him to end up like the other men who have so much potential but end up wasting their lives away because of stuff that's usually out of their control. Sorry for the length. If you decide to read this while offering some advice, I'd appreciate it, and I'm certain my friend would too since he watches your stuff religiously. Well, okay. Well, this isn't about you, because a lot of times when guys write in about the friend, it's about them. It kind of sounds off the top of my head it sounds like he has high highs with he's very ambitious, and he obviously has a lot going on for him, and he has success when he's on his when he's on it. But other times, very depressed. You know, my first I'm not a fucking psychologist, by the way, here, but it sounds like he's in a depression right now, and other times he has like these high highs and low lows. You know, I would go to him, and as a friend, and you're a good friend for writing in about him and caring about him, I would simply get over there and do your best to get him out of the freaking dorm. You know, let's go shoot some pool. Let's go to the bowling alley. Let's go to the rifle range if that's what you're into. Let's go for some beers. Let's go to the gym. Let's go let's go rock climbing. I don't know what. You got sometimes with people that are in a depressive funk, you know, if they can't get themselves a kick in the ass, they need somebody that cares about them in a kind way to give them a kick in the ass too to get them out. And that's what I think. But the way you're describing his high highs when he's go, go, go and a high achiever, or this depression he's in right now, you know, sometimes it can be an actual issue. You know, again, I'm not a psychologist, but it sounds like it could be some level of manic depression. So I would do what you can once you get him out of there. Maybe he could use some counseling, maybe a trip to the therapist, because if it's possible, I know people that have, and it doesn't sound like, from what I've heard, those that are bipolar and manic depression, there's the manic stages of just kind of like, in the extreme cases, they have delusions of grandeur. They think they can literally conquer the world. Your buddy at least was taking action to do things and has achieved things, while people that really have the manic stages, it's like, whoa, I'm going to be a fucking astronaut next week and go work for SpaceX, you know, out there. And then the depression is they can't get out of bed. So I would do what you can to get your buddy out of the house, talk to him, see what's going on, find out, you know, do what you can. Because, guys, we all have, at some point, are going to have a buddy, a brother, like a friend who's a brother, or an actual brother or cousin. And people are in a tough spot, and they could use a good friend coming in and doing what they can. But remember, you can only do so much, because people have to want to be helped. So I would do what you can for your buddy. Get him out of there, whatever you can do. Help him get past this stage where he's, you know, and going through a tough time. See if you can help him. I mean, you are a good friend to him. And then maybe potentially see if he may want to talk to somebody. You know, a little professional help. He may be against that, but you never know. And if indeed maybe he is bipolar, well, a good therapist, hopefully the right one, can help him on that path to have, obviously, you know, before it gets worse, you know. A lot of people have the idea nowadays, just medicate. I'm against that idea until it's absolutely necessary. And I do believe that bipolar folks, they got the medication that can stabilize things. But again, that's the last thing resort until it's absolutely necessary. But I do think he may have some issues, you know, and I say issues, I don't mean like in a criticism, but just, you know, if that's potentially a bipolar, manic depression, whatever you want to fucking call it. But I don't want him to suffer, and it sounds like he's suffering. So do what you can as a friend. But remember, if you can't get anywhere with him, at least you try. Don't beat yourself up if you obviously can't get anywhere with him. And that goes for all the guys out there that have a buddy that's going through a tough time. We got to be our brother's keepers, guys. We got to help a friend out from time to time, because one day we may be in a bad situation, could use some help. Okay. I had to cover that because he was asking, and I want to help you guys out. And that, again, applies to all you guys that may have a friend that's going through a tough time. Okay, on to the main story here. About the guy and indifference and all that. This guy says here, ISSM. This probably isn't that original, but it's served me well over the years. I also told my son and daughters to use this rule. After college, which I was in college in 1989 through 1991, I had my first long-term relationship. Okay, your relationship was in between 89 and 91. We dated for about a year and a half. We broke up just before Valentine's Day. Hey, you saved yourself some money. I was out at the bars with friends on Valentine's Day and ran into her. She totally blew me off. Wouldn't talk to me or say hi, and of course it pissed me off. So you broke up, and she won't even have anything to do with you. Yeah, to hell with her. Well, I went home that night and thought about it for a while. I decided that I would never be embarrassed in that way ever again. Did you just have your red pill moment? All of us have had that moment where we were pushed too far and we see reality. My rule I came up with was, if they break up with me, it is up to them to communicate with me. If I break up with them, it is up to me to communicate with them if I want them back. Zero communication with them. Like I said, it's not that original, but it worked for me. In other words, from that moment on, you're totally indifferent. You could care the fuck less. Let them do all the chasing. Watch this. Well, after that, I went and got a membership at a gym closest to my apartment. At the time, I was 6 feet tall, 235 pounds. Okay, you were a big dude. I stopped going to the bars for 6 months and stopped drinking. My week was going to work and then going to the gym 6 days a week. Lifting weights, cardio, classes, Stairmaster, and Taekwondo was how I spent my evenings. Shit, dude, you were a man on a mission. You went militant. Obviously, you're like, I'm changing my body around, and that is it. That's some serious dedication. Well, at the end of the 6 months, I was 180 pounds and in just as good a shape as I was my senior year in high school during football and wrestling. That's badass, man. Good job. Now, at that point, then you can have some balance in your life. You can occasionally go to the bar with your bros, watch the fucking playoffs or whatever you like to do, have a couple beers, but then you're still at the gym all the time and all that. Well, that September, I started going out with friends once again. I didn't drink as much, and I was still working out 6 days a week. My friends always frequented a sports bar every Friday night, and my ex knew this. Okay, so we're talking is after 6 months after the whole Valentine's Day thing, and he had his red pill moment, at least with regards to chasing after people and girls and all that, particularly when they dump you. Well, one Friday, she was in the bar, and I didn't know it. She supposedly had positioned herself in a high-traffic spot. You mean to get a lot of as much attention as she could? Big fucking surprise. If you're going to the restroom or the bar, you had to walk by these tables. I guess I walked by her twice and didn't even notice her. After I sat back in my chair, one of my friends turned to me and said, "Isn't that your ex running out of the bar?" I said, "I think it is," and turned my back around. So, he's out with his buddies. He looks completely different, transformed his body. He looks good, he's feeling good. And there she is in a high traffic location so she can get attention and validation. And he didn't know she was there, but obviously she knew he was there. And it bothered the shit out of her. He wasn't chasing after her. At that time, I lived in a college town, and football games Saturdays were a big deal. All the bars were packed downtown, and we always went to the same bar before the game. A couple weeks after the sports bar incident, guess who showed up at the bar we were at? My ex. She came up to me and said, "Hi." I was cordial, but really didn't feel like chatting with her. Why would you? You've been broken up for 6+ months. She was an asshole to you the last time you saw her after the breakup. You're there for your boys in football. She and her friends stayed about 10 feet away. My friends told me to go talk to her, and I said, no, it's up to her. See? Notice his friends, who obviously were clueless. Oh, man, she went up and talked to you. Go chase after her. No, not interested. I saw her once again that season, and pretty much the same thing happened. I bet she was driving her fucking nuts. And notice, she went and said hi just to get the ball rolling, but then she was probably absolutely convinced that then, boom, that just by her saying hi, just a little small talk, that boom, you chase after her. Nope. No way. Over the next few months, I had a lot of hang-ups on my answering machine. Answering machine. Hey kids, an answering machine was once this box that was next to your fucking phone that would record messages because there's no such thing as voicemail back then. Remember, answering machines, we're going back in time. Lots of hang-ups on my answering machine. Oh gee, who was it calling and hanging up? I didn't have caller ID back then, but I figured it was her. I was seeing other people on and off, but they would always leave messages. Well, the next spring, I was out at the bars, and at the bar that we didn't frequent that much. Guess who I ran into? You guessed it, my ex. She proceeded to talk my ear off for over 30 minutes and even bought me a beer. Oh, now she's working harder to get your attention. She bought me a beer so I would stay talking with her. She was telling me about her life, and of course, she didn't ask me much about mine. Well, of course she didn't ask about her life because she doesn't give a shit. Women want to talk. Talk. She was telling me to come by and see her. Here we go. She's chasing after you. Now she wants you to come chase her. Nope. She wanted me to call her. She thought that we should go hang out. I kept waiting for an explanation or apology, and it never came. Well, I didn't call her, go see her, or hang out. I later learned that she had a one-night fling with a guy I know. After I learned that, I knew I had made the right call. So, did you see that, guys? Repeatedly. The first incident, she goes say hi to him. She was hoping he'd chase after her. Nope. Then she's constantly calling and hanging up, trying to get a hold of him. She wasn't going to leave a message. Then eventually later on, she's upping the ante in terms of her effort to get his attention. And after talking, oh, come call me, come hang out with me and all that. I guarantee you that guy did that, she would drop to him like that. Her ego can't handle it. Women can't take indifference, but they chase after the guys, like here, that are indifferent. Well, my rule came into play other times in my life, including with my wife. Aha. At the time my wife and I were dating, I was working and living about 60 miles from where she was at. Her friends talked her into breaking up with me so she could hang out with them. After we broke up, I had zero communication with her for about 3 months. Now, let's see what his policy of never chasing someone that ended it with you, what happened. One night I got a phone call, and it was her. We talked for quite a while. She asked if I was ever going to call her, and I said no. I told her she broke up with me, and I figured you didn't want to hear from me, so I left you alone. I don't think she ever had anyone say that to her. We met up that weekend, and we've been together ever since. So at that point, she chased after him, but enough in a way that he was like, all right, okay, you chased after me. You're the one that fucked it up. Enough that we'll give this another chance. But at the end of the day, he was making her do all the chasing. Is it perfect? No, it isn't, but it kept me from doing foolish things when I was younger. I also apply the same idea when dealing with my wife. If she's ranting and raving, I don't say anything and just ignore the situation. That usually seems to reset something with her. I hope this helps sometimes. Thank you for all you do. So anyway, guys, not some crazy story or anything like that, just some common sense about the gals and chasing and attention and validation and indifference. I've had a couple times in my lives where I've had a girlfriend break up with me in the 11th grade, and I had another gal when I was 21 who we started seeing each other but wasn't going anywhere, and she gave me the let's just be friends speech. In both situations, I moved on. In both situations, the chick in the 11th grade, years later, because we actually got into a big fight, it was a lot of drama, she didn't like me for a few years, she was chasing after me. I found out all those years later that she was calling my house all the time when I still lived in my home. My mom would take the messages, but she asked not to tell me. And I met up with her later out in public, and she said, I've been trying to get in touch with you, But my mom didn't say anything because my mom didn't like her. Yeah, moms interfere. The point is, because I walked away and that was it, eventually she was chasing after me. And that girl when I was 21 who just said, let's just be friends. Okay, no hard feelings. I moved on. Well, after a couple weeks, she's chasing after me and calling me and emailing me and everything. I miss you. See? It's amazing the power of walking away in indifference. So you got to use that when, well, guys should always be that way, quite frankly. Have them doing the chasing. Because notice the guys that do all the chasing, they aren't interested in them. So I thought it'd be a pretty good one there. So anyhow, guys, definitely comment below about the guy who's in the situation trying to help out his buddy here. If you ever had a situation with a buddy that had depression or problems or stuff like that, maybe you can help that guy out. And of course, gentlemen, the situation with the indifference and having them chase you, it's amazing, that power, because their narcissistic minds, their egos, cannot take it when guys are chasing after them. And usually, almost always, the more physically attractive the woman is, the more it drives them crazy that guys aren't chasing after them. And look what they did. But I guarantee in those situations, if that guy started chasing after her, or he started chasing after his now wife who was pulling that crap in the beginning, in an unbalanced way, or the wrong way, they would have lost interest. Guaranteed. So you find the right level of balance. By and large, they're doing all the chasing. End of story. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And guys, you find a good story if you have a good story you want me to share, send it my way, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. And if it's a good one, I'll cover it. This also goes for good news articles, a question you may have about something you're going through, a struggle, or a crazy story you might find online. And oh yeah, by the way, if you happen to be on X, guys, formerly Twitter, come join the club over there. The handle is SSM Channels. Definitely trying to really grow that over there because, as you're aware, YouTube doesn't like to promote material like this because I'm the bad guy and other channels like me the bad guy. So I need another place where I can post the videos and let you guys know. Because some of you guys don't even know when I publish videos anymore because, they don't share it. So come join. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.